I like your style. That's cheeky.
Mm-hmm.
Cheeky.
Have you got Scottish blood, have you? You're Scottish?
I don't think I do,
What's your
actually,
last
no.
name? What's your
Trickett.
Oh, your last name's Trickett. What's your first name?
Daniel.
Daniel. Okay. Sorry, Daniel.
That's all right. I've gone by many names.
Like what?
Oh, well, my Adelaide nickname's
Dickhead.
Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear.
Because you're a furry
And
motherfucker.
It's gone through a couple of different Muppets.
All right. Like who?
What was the next one that I got? Oh, so there was Fozzie Bear, who did the Waka Waka.
Yeah, man.
And then who was the next?
What did the other one say?
Grover. No, that didn't come from
Grover.
Adelaide. That come from the Drum Cartel. That was Greg.
Oh, that's
Started
great.
calling me Grover.
From
I
the
just
Drum
used his
Cartel.
name.
Yeah, but he's from the Drum Cartel.
He is.
Greg, check him out, actually. They've got
one of my lovely affiliates,
Yeah.
Drum Rentals and Servicing. Mm-hmm.
He's got a massive warehouse filled with all the drums you need.
Biggest collection of drum kits in the Southern Hemisphere.
Far out, man.
And don't be pushed away by the fact that he's an arsehole. At his core, he's a lovely person.
It never pushed you away from me.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
You gave me rules. You gave me rules, so I'm going to break them straight away. He's an asshole.
I'm going to do it loud.
He's an asshole.
He is. He is. He'll be fine with that.
I actually know the guy, Jobbie, and he is an arsehole.
All right.
He hates Sunset Junkies.
He hates them?
Hates them. Oh,
Really?
not the music. He just hates the people.
Oh, really? I don't blame him. I hated him so much that I had to
Cardiac arrest.
quit.
No doubt. Don't blame you. I'm almost there myself, honestly.
Honestly?
No, not honestly.
Honestly?
Kinda.
Where are you at with the Sunset Junkies?
I'm actually really happy, man. I've heard the mix from the album now, the finished product, and I am happy with it, man. Yeah, Cosmos.
Cosmos.
So
Excellent.
it's coming out on the 7th of September.
7th of September.
Well, that's when we're launching it.
Launching, and you...
So it will definitely be out by then. So if this doesn't happen to come out before then, you'll be able to get the album on all platforms.
Hey, that's another thing. We spoke to Byron last week.
Last week, yeah.
And he's really happy for us to put like little snippets of film clips.
Yeah, cool.
Splice it into the... So if there's anything, like if you got drum playthroughs
I'm
or
gonna give you
whatever,
the
like
Inertia one.
Thieves, Inertia playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'll get you some of the... Pardon me? Some of the...
Nope.
Some of the Thieves ones as well.
Yeah,
'Cause
man.
I got all the originals of them at home. So
Cool.
We can splice them up through.
So there'll be links as well. Like in our description, we'll put the links to the
or
drum
you can just put
playthroughs,
that
and we'll
up
put
to
all the whole
my YouTube page too, Daniel Trickett Drums.
Daniel Trickett drums on the YouTubes.
Yes.
Plenty of drum playthroughs.
Yeah.
You got all the stuff. You got all your GoPros. You got that little window with your kick pedals and all that sort of stuff.
I do.
Yeah, it's
so
really
I learned
cool.
how to edit video a little bit.
Sure.
Oh, cool.
Took a minute.
We're doing the same, actually.
Still learning. Yeah.
As you can tell from 1 and 2.
Hopefully 3's good. Hopefully 4's good, and hopefully number 5, where we're
This
at.
one's going to suck.
This one's going to be so
Oh,
shit.
bullshit.
We'll never have this guy in our lives because we all hate members of the Sunset Junkies. I hate myself.
Take it as it comes.
Forever a junkie.
That's all right. I'm there with you. I hate you too.
Don't blame ya. I blame ya.
All
They
right.
call this self-deprecation.
No, you got to be real with yourself.
Can be real.
Be real.
Yeah, sometimes real is not great.
Real can be
Sometimes it's
hard. Real can be hard, but why have
Sometimes,
anything fake? Fake sucks every time.
And I know fake seems to
Fake's
be
not-
working
yeah,
out
that's
for a lot of
never good.
people these days.
Oh, maybe.
Take a
Maybe
look
it
at
seems that
Instagram.
way. Maybe they're faking how well it's working out for them.
Yeah, fake's never good.
Fake goes deep.
Don't do fake.
Fake all that.
Fake goes deep.
Fake slaps you in the face. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we got then?
What do
are
we
we
got?
talking about?
Let's talk about Like Thieves. What's going
Talk
on with
about
Like
like
Thieves?
these. We're writing at the moment,
Cool.
which we have been doing for a long time. We released a single in May last year, May of 2018,
Cool.
and we haven't finished another song since.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been, not that things have been bouncing back and forward. We haven't gotten into a room and written together as a band in some time now, because everybody's been like, people are
Married with children, something like that.
kids, other bands, like other I've been doing Sunset Junkies, Bogue's back with the Butterfly Effect, working on that. Odin's had a second child, so it's just been not that we're not working or not that we don't want to do it. It's just sort of.
What's the name of your bass player? What's his name?
Clint.
Clint.
But
What's he doing?
he's not in the band anymore.
He's not in the band anymore.
No.
Oh, right. What happened?
he vacated.
Who's here now?
No one yet.
No one yet.
No one
well,
yet.
That makes it all hard, doesn't it?
So no, not really. Bass is easy.
True that. That's why I do it.
But for the most part, for the demo stage of this anyway,
I tried
Odin,
bass once. It was not easy.
it's easy to pick up. It's hard to be proficient at. Whereas I feel like guitar is harder to get the roots of, but easier to excel with.
Yeah, because you've got all that bunching stuff. I like this, like you're doing like a fucking whatever the fuck you call this chord, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. I think you call it actually like that. And then you got to go from.
I never used the pinky.
You got to go. You got to go from this to that, like the changing of a bar. That's like every finger has to change. So that to me is, I can't do that.
But you obviously can't play piano.
Piano's easier because I'm used to working like that. I mean, I'm still using my fingers independently, but it's one at a time. But with piano as a chordal instrument, so guitar is all about bunching your fingers up real small.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Whereas piano, like the bass, is about spreading your fingers real wide.
So you're saying you
So
don't like
that's-
the
that's a
arthritis
bit easy.
feeling? You don't like that?
That's really uncomfortable. But that, like just, and then doing all this stuff, like I can make
dexterity.
sense of that far more than I can make sense of this, because everything there is totally alien. Like I play bass like this. I don't play bass like this. Some people do, but for me, that doesn't make any sense. I do 2 fingers or a thumb.
Horses for courses, man.
That's right. So there's a lot of bass players that play guitar, and they can find a way to adapt it. Or lots of guitarists that became bass players, like your Carol Kays and umpteen thousand fucking people that have gone from guitar to bass. But for me, I can't do that. It's just not in my genetics, right, to go like this. It doesn't make any sense. But this piano,
Those Polish
I can make a lot
farming
more sense of that.
hands. Just
yeah,
it's bigger than an
fat
axe.
palms. Yeah,
and stuff.
used to holding pitchforks and attacking panzers.
Panzers. What's
Do
Panzer?
you know a Panzer is the tank, the German tank?
Oh, is
So
it?
World War II, the
yeah.
start of World War II, when the Germans invaded Poland, they used tanks to invade Poland, and the Polish basically had nothing, and the only way that they could retaliate, they fucking ran at the tanks with their pitchforks.
Rode on horses too.
Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah, rode on horses
They
too.
had cavalry on horses.
Fucking crazy.
I'll
But
learn.
your tank still goes over a horse.
Yeah, that's it. Tank wins.
I learned an
Tank wings.
interesting
Fucking
fact
Nazis.
about Germany's invasion of
Oh yeah,
Poland
tell me.
the other day.
Tell me.
Tell you?
Tell me, man.
I forget the name of the town that they were trying to get to, but the reason why... Now, this is information that was told to me. I don't know this for a fact.
Yeah.
It could all just be some conspiratorial shit wiping.
All right.
Conspiracy's fine. That's always good fun to talk about.
Poland cut Germany off from their own country. So
What do you
there's a
mean?
town there, started with D.
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of the
Who
town.
just said was cut off?
Germany.
Was cut off from itself.
So
Oh, their
yes,
supply
so
lines.
Poland. No. Poland took over a section of land that belonged to Germany and was slaughtering Germans. So Germany technically had to invade Poland,
Retaliate.
which was German land before Poland took it, in order to get to
And they
the
just kept,
Germans,
and
where
they
it was
just-
still considered Germany, and that was considered the invasion of Poland.
Well, Hitler
But
was a
the thing is-
psychopath, so he would have used any excuse.
That's right. The thing is that
Yeah, see, I've heard that in a rebuttal too.
It's like
Yeah,
if
it's true.
say, okay, let's say you live on a farm and you've got a dickhead neighbour that keeps moving the fence post to get more land. So you got The guy doing the right thing, the guy doing the wrong thing. The guy doing the wrong thing is the one that says, well, I'm just going to move your fence post and I'm going to claim more land.
Bit different when
What
it's
you
whole
do-
damn country.
But what you do then, if you're reasonable, you just get the fence post back to where it was. You don't keep going all the way to France, like because someone moved your fence post.
I'm not good enough with geography to know how far that is.
Okay, so say Poland moves the fence post of their country onto German territory. If Hitler was being reasonable, he just would have moved it back and said, get the fuck out of my country, and then left it at that. But he went marching all the way to the Polish capital, enslaved the Jews within the walls of their own city, and then kept marching on through the rest of Europe. So maybe the Polish pissed them off, but as Robbie just said, Hitler was a psychopath and he would have found any excuse to do what he fucking did.
Well, he wanted to restore the Roman Empire.
He did, the Holy
that
Roman
was one of
Empire.
his
Oh, that's
visions.
funny, because we were talking about the Roman Empire before.
But that was one of his visions, to restore the Roman Empire and be the Caesar, basically.
Yeah, that's right. And so what
Take
happened?
all of Europe.
But how would
And
he,
beyond.
if he's a proud German, wouldn't he feel like anger towards Rome because they took over
That's
Germany?
a good question.
No, they were
And,
allied.
no, well, let me tell you something.
Not until Rome
I
conquered
can
him.
answer this
He would've-
question.
he
I
would've
can
eaten
offer
them
some
eventually.
insight. I can offer some insight
He would have
into
eaten
this.
them eventually, but Mussolini was one of his allies, yeah.
So what happened the history of Rome, it all started in actual Rome where they spread their empire out. But by the time it came to the Middle Ages, the Holy Roman Empire was actually mostly Germany. Anyway, it was known as the Holy Roman Empire, and Germany was actually the Holy Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
They were the governors of the empire. They were the military arm of the
After
Roman
the
Empire.
collapse, yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
the
Holy
next big
Roman
one.
Empire in the Middle Ages actually was Germany. And so he sees the lineage of
That's true,
his own people's history as being totally tied to him being a Caesar, an emperor, a god, you know?
Maybe you should have looked further back in history and saw that they destroyed his people. And
Well, that's right. But
unless he's of Roman descent, then he's on the winning
there's
side of it.
something
Kind of got
interesting
a
there.
little bit of revenge there too, actually.
Yeah, he did. And there's something interesting there as well, is that the Germanic people...
Actually, I
Germanic
should say a lot
tribes-
of revenge, because Hitler was he served as a soldier in World War One, and he was really bitter about it.
Well, he would have been, because Germany was
About
crushed
About the loss,
at the end of World War
about
One.
Germany going broke,
Fair enough.
and
So after World War One, they just divided all of Germany's assets amongst themselves. And so
with the big
Germany
bill.
was just squashed and crushed and worthless.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
this is a really proud lineage, really proud people.
well, that's why some people like him, because they say, "Oh,
I know.
he saved
I know.
Germany only for a couple of years because
right.
he destroyed it again too."
Yeah,
But-
it's something worthwhile
Well,
that he did was restore their
He
economy.
was
for
the
one.
leader of the National Socialist Party. Mm-hmm. And isn't Bernie Sanders a National Socialist?
He's not a national
he's a
socialist,
so-
but
he's a
he's a
social
communist,
democrat.
basically.
Social Democrat.
Social democrat. But
So
I don't think
socialist
Bernie
as far as
Sanders
the
is
Yanks
a
are concerned.
psycho. I don't think
Anybody
Bernie
slightly
Sanders
left
is a psycho like Hitler was.
socialist for the Yanks.
So,
They're much more
in-
bipolar in terms of
In the
conservative socialist.
in the definition of
these
the
days.
word Nazi, coming from National Socialist,
Yep, German Workers' Party. Yep.
is Bernie Sanders a Nazi?
Well, that's
Actually,
a
I
good point.
think- I
'cause
think
I would
Bernie
argue
Sanders
that
is
the
actually
Nazis
Jewish.
are on the left of the political
looks it.
spectrum.
when Trump came out and started telling the Jews how they should vote, like for us it was last
Did he
week.
do that?
He did. He said that if you're a Jew that votes Democrat, you're a traitor to your people. Right? And Bernie Sanders laughed at that and said, I vote left all the time and I'm a proud Jew. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yes, I
so-
saw that.
If he is a Nazi,
There's not enough shoes to
there's
go
some
into somebody's mouth, really.
psychological trauma.
Is he a practicing Jew?
I don't have a clue. I don't actually know that.
Bernie
We-
Sanders.
We can Google that in if you need to.
I think on the Rogan cast he said no, but don't quote me on that. I think
All
he
right.
did say no. I'm pretty sure Rogan asked him.
Celebrities, do they know things?
Oh, hang on.
What do they know?
Back to Hitler.
Let's find
Do you
out.
reckon he's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By now he'd be dead.
100%.
Oh, by now he would be, but do you
Yeah.
reckon he died when they said he died, or do you reckon he got to Brazil?
Oh, that's
Was it Brazil?
I don't think he died when they said he died.
Did get to Brazil. A lot of them.
That was
lot of them
that
got
was
to
one of the
America too.
conspiracies, wasn't it? That he
Yeah.
fled to Brazil.
Yeah,
and
I don't
lived his
think he
days out
died.
there.
I don't think he died.
Sorry
Yeah,
for
right.
playing with this, but
Produce-
I don't know
gravity's
enough
just
about it.
Produce the body, motherfuckers.
gotta tighten it up.
Well, that's the same with Osama bin Laden, wasn't it?
Oh, no. They cast him out to sea.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true.
they had the body.
They had the
They
body.
disposed of it.
They had the body, but they were so angry at his legacy that they threw him overboard. What?
I wonder
What?
if there was much urine on
Really?
his body before it went into the sea. That's my question.
Oh, man.
Did they piss all
I
over
bet
him?
they did.
Might have.
They were pretty damn angry after 9/11.
That's right. Why would they throw him overboard? Why would they throw him off a boat, man, when they could do so much worse to that body?
Well, you
right?
heard
They could draw and quarter that dead body if it's even there.
off topic a little bit, but did you ever see that paragraph about the presidents doing the laps around the White House and who had the fastest time?
Oh, you mean running?
Yeah, running.
Right.
So right, the
Who's the
perimeter,
fastest runner around the
the
White
perimeter of the White House. All right, so you had like Clinton. Clinton did something like 11:50
Oh, right.
doing the perimeter of the
He's
White
got
House
those fast twitch muscles.
before.
House? I think Tony
quick
Abbott.
switch, quick switch.
Isn't Tony Abbott our fastest running prime minister?
No, he's a
Big
swimmer.
speedos
He's a
and
swimmer,
stuff?
that one.
Oh, swimmer.
Oh no, well, he used a triathlon, wasn't he? Something like that.
He was into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Clinton did like 11:50 or whatever it was.
Right.
Who was the president before Clinton? Was that Bush?
Bush
Senior?
Senior. Bush Senior. George Bush,
Bush
the first.
Senior did like, I think he was a little bit slower. He
Who's
was
the
like
champion?
12, 11 or something. Everyone's like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
JFK.
Obama got in.
Oh, Obama. Okay.
Obama got in and did just under 10 minutes. It's like, yeah, come on, that's got to be the fastest. Like, no. George Bush had the fastest. He did 9/11.
Oh.
Ouch.
Did you ever hear that joke before?
I've never heard that one.
I laughed my ass off when I heard that.
Ouchie.
Oh,
Very good.
so yeah.
Like we said on
Osama
the
bin
first
Laden.
podcast, you just had a lot of people shit themselves.
Oh, shit.
I never got tired.
That's
of
what we're
the-
here for.
The Bush did 9/11 memes, man. They are
Oh, man.
hilarious.
They're so good. And there's some good Donald Trump memes out there too. Like I found a really cool one of him. Just like it's like he's wearing the two towers as a hat, and he's doing his famous fist pump, but in each hand he's holding a plane, and he's wearing a 9/11 like the two towers hat. So he's like, yeah.
Are you going to
Funny
say
as,
someone
man.
photoshopped in some dicks?
Oh, dear.
I don't think they needed to Photoshop that. I think I saw that on Pornhub, man.
Maybe that's one way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've already thought it, it's probably already happened.
Yeah. Well, let's make one. If it's not out there, let's make one.
If it's not out there, make one.
Studying. She.
Make your meme if it's not already out there.
That's right. If it's not already out there.
Make me gassy as hell.
I'm not surprised. If you're not used to drinking so much.
I
That's
stopped
me.
drinking during the weeks.
Oh, well, this is
Why
live
is
beer
that?
too, man.
I was drinking too much.
Too
I don't
much?
think I reached alcoholic peaks by alcoholic standards, but I was definitely drinking the most I'd ever drunk in my life,
No, right.
and I just needed to
Needed to stop during the week.
take a roll back,
Mm-hmm.
ease it up a little bit. And it's funny too now because on the weekends I'll have only like a fraction of what I used to drink, and I'll get hammered.
Yeah, your tolerance would be way down, man. I drink every day still.
Well, I was drinking every day, like enough to get not hammered but drunk.
What was your stress?
My job,
Job.
day job,
What was your day job?
I do air conditioning at construction sites.
And that was winding you up.
Yeah, just that compiled with, being a struggling musician,
Yeah. Stress.
trying to
Relieving
better
your own
myself
stress.
in another industry when I'm too tired from my day job to
But it doesn't make it better.
succeed at it. No.
True story.
100%.
I've been there.
For real.
I think everybody's been there.
Like mermaids in the park.
What's that?
That's why I carry a knife when I go jogging. Because there's mermaids, literal mermaids in the park. See? Are you with me?
Oh, give us a look. That's pretty cool.
My little work knife. I
Yeah, it's
don't carry it everywhere. It's just
Not
on me because
everywhere.
I come here straight from work.
Oh, nice pliers too. Excellent.
Yeah, is that an actual Leatherman? Or
That is an actual Leatherman.
Yeah,
but
they're
that's
good
like
tools,
the
man.
cheap run. That was the cheapest one I could get.
Oh, but they're still good
Come on,
tools,
bro,
man.
guys.
Yeah, they're still good tools.
Yeah,
They are. They're great.
I still
that-
wish I had my first Swiss Army knife, man. It was cool.
Oh, you got to hit.
I got.
Oh, you've got a lock on that. Okay.
I got my
Wow,
kid
okay,
a
cool.
Play-Doh set recently. It came with like this Swiss Play-Doh knife. It's like this big motherfucking plastic thing with like you pull out your knife, you pull out your saw, you even pull out like a bottle opener,
had
and you just
something
fucking
like
cut
that.
the Play-Doh up with it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I spent the last 2 days just playing with Play-Doh. It's been so good. For the last weekend, it's been really cool. Just like we got these little molds of the houses, and because it was free, because I got it by jumping into a bin where I saw a Play-Doh kit that had a little tear in it. I'm like, I'm gonna grab that because that's free, and I know a couple of dudes that are gonna have a lot of fun with that. So yeah, we just played with Play-Doh all weekend. It's really nice.
Awesome.
Molds.
What'd you mold?
Um,
Like, what'd you make?
like well, we were just this set actually came with like actual proper molds. So like we made the house, but because it was free, I didn't care about mixing the Play-Doh, because when you got to pay for it, for me at least, my stupid brain, it's just like, oh well, if we mix it all, it's just going to turn into this rubbishy brown, and then we'll throw it away. But now it's like, yeah, it was free, who cares? So like a little blue door handle, a little pink door, green roof, some brown brick molds. It was fun.
But wouldn't it work out with Play-Doh when you roll it all together? It'd turn out like the old school ice creams that were like the
Oh yes,
To start with.
the
absolutely.
rainbow.
That's how it
start with.
starts. That's how it starts. And
not
that's
how
the
it
thing.
finishes.
Is this
Oh,
set?
really?
Finish
This
it.
this set actually came with like a couple of syringes that you squeeze the Play-Doh through it together. Yeah, squeezes like a couple of syringes, right?
Just straight in.
Straight in, man.
Straight into the bloodstream.
Squeeze the rainbow. And so, like, you can end up like we were just mixing all the rainbows together and teaching some very good habits to a kid I know. No relation.
That's another scatology one.
Study of shit.
Play-Doh. Well, my mum made me Play-Doh once when I was a kid, and it was awesome. I can't remember what she used to make it though.
My mum did the same thing,
just
man.
flour,
I can still remember the taste of it.
something-
water. What else?
I probably did eat it. I can't
I ate
remember
it.
the
I
taste of
definitely ate it.
A shit
colouring.
memory.
For some
Flour,
things, but a great
watercolour.
memory for other things.
I had a great memory for
Probably missing
songs.
something.
I could play
Songs, drum
every
parts.
song.
Drum arrangements too. Song arrangements. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
I can play every song I've ever played. I can play it.
That's amazing. I can't say the same thing, man.
That's it. Like, but I can't remember birthdays. I'm horrible with names. Horrible with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well,
every
that's what
song.
Sherlock Holmes said. Well, it's actually technically Sir Arthur Conan Doyle who wrote the books, but that's what Sherlock Holmes said. A man is like a cupboard. You can only fill up, or a woman, you can only fill up your shelves with what you're interested in. The rest, you chuck out.
Chuck it out because you've only got a cupboard's worth of space.
Yeah.
You've only got so many shelves. So in that vein, I can say like there's a point where I was playing in 4 different bands and doing a bit of session work on the side, so I could totally keep contained in my head 200 songs. That I can just, whatever band I'm with, that's that. That's what Rumblefish plays. That's what Sunset
That's pretty
Junkies
good.
plays. That's how that Blues Arcadia song starts.
That's
this
not
is
bad.
blah, 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 blah. But as soon as
I
I,
don't
quit,
think many
as soon as
people
I
would be able
leave
to
the band,
agree.
like say Rumblefish was like a blues rock covers band, I had, for that band alone, I had about 80 songs in my head and we didn't run to set lists. So James would just start the song and know that the band's got to be there to follow him. And so I just he'd give us a song list and say, these are probably the songs that we're going to play tonight, but maybe not. Just, these are the ones that you got to have in your head right now. Okay. And so he goes, doom, ga-goom, ga-goom, ga-goom. I've got to know, right, that's an F. That's that, not the Yardbirds, the other one. Feel It For Me, 10 Years After song, right? We're going into that now. And I know that when he plays that, I can kind of guess the next 2 or 3 songs. And so before I even start playing, I've got like the next 5 songs in mind, right? Because I've got this library that I can call on. But now, ask me to play a Rumblefish song, probably wouldn't know how to do it.
Well, how long since you've been in a band?
Well, the band broke up or dissolved. It's getting close to a year ago. So James has always he's always had his Rumblefish, and Rumblefish was definitely like he was the boss. It was his band, right? It was all of our bands, but he was our fearless leader, right? Got all the gigs, blah blah blah. Got all these contacts through playing all these covers, but he always wanted to have an originals band. As you know, he's a creative person. You can only play covers so much, right? Before it starts to suck at your soul. So what happened is that he started this originals project called Queso Grande. And he used all of this knowledge that he'd gained, basically managing Rumblefish, started to apply that to Queso Grande coupled with his originals music, which is really good. And he started to get that ball rolling with an originals project, and like all these places like Lefties, even like the Mount Gravatt Marquetta, Royal Mail, Yamba Tavern started to want, even Nimbin Tavern, all of these places that he's done with Rumblefish, Byron Bay Rails, started to really, really dig what he was doing with his originals band. So fuck the covers band off, right? Stop gigging books, or stop that, reverse it, stop booking gigs for a covers band.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah. I had a Willy Wonka moment. Yeah,
You're not going to have a midget pop out of the corner.
I really
dressed as an
hope
Oompa
so.
Loompa, right?
I really would.
That wasn't like a
would
segue
like that,
to freak me out, because I would not put it past you to do that to me.
Is that a little mini knock at the door? There's a midget going to pop out of that PV amp over there.
It's funny you say that, because in the Casper
But anyway.
episode was like, we're talking about time travel. I'm like, Casper, do you think someone's just going to rock up in the middle of this and destroy our podcast because they didn't like it in 50 years? So kind of same thing.
Same
So-
thing.
If Arnold Schwarzenegger kicks in the door, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, that bastard trying to steal your
He's
thunder.
too old to kick in the door.
I don't know, man. I reckon he's still got it.
You
I reckon
reckon?
he's still got it.
Yeah, I reckon he's still got
I
it.
reckon he's still got it.
He's still tipping the maid, isn't he?
I reckon you got, each of us could probably take him. I reckon.
Maybe the three of us could take an arm
I wouldn't
each.
want to know, man.
And
An arm each, because he's got three of them.
Yeah. Freak.
Hey, Arnie, you're 90 years old. Let's do this.
Man, in his heyday, his bicep, his upper arms were bigger than my goddamn thighs, man. I can't even
He is
imagine a guy that
huge.
big. I can't imagine a guy that big.
He was a mountain. Yeah.
He's
He's
a
a
grinder, man. I was
mountain.
reading a thing about him the other day where he would go, he'd be working construction, like labouring during the day, finish that, go straight to the gym, finish at the gym, go to acting classes, and his day would go from 6 in the morning until 10 or 11 at night. Sort of by the time he got settled, he's getting into bed at midnight and be up again at 4 o'clock on
One of
construction.
those. He's one of those guys, man.
Just worked.
Fucking power. Powerful. Fucking powerful guy.
Well, you've heard the Bill Burr bit on it, haven't you?
Tell me.
Where he's talking about it, he decided to become a bodybuilder, becomes the most famous bodybuilder on the planet.
And
Decides
still.
he's going to be an actor, becomes the biggest blockbuster action star in history when he can barely speak the language. Decides what's the other one? He's going to marry a Kennedy. He's like, there's no fucking way that's happening.
No way he's
Bam,
going to marry
does
Kennedy. Oh,
it.
by the way, he marries Kennedy.
And then decides he's going to go into office in a state he can't even pronounce and wins the election. It's like, how many lifetimes would you need to do
to
all
do
of that?
what he's doing in this one that he's got. Oh,
Well,
man.
he would have gone
and then he
for
goes
president if
after
he was allowed to.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
He
just not
probably would
allowed
have
to.
been.
He's not
He's
born
allowed
there.
to.
Well, yeah, if he
He's
had the
Austrian.
opportunity. Do you
But
reckon,
maybe he's going to have grandkids that end up being president.
Yeah.
We'll have little Susie Schwarzenegger.
Little
do you reckon
Schwarzenegger.
The Rock's like a little offshoot, like a Arnold Schwarzenegger side dip?
He is
Because he's jacked and he was talking
and
about
he's,
running.
he's probably he's one of the most recognized, if not the most recognizable WWE star, The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He'd
He
have
can-
to be. Oh,
He can wrestle, which means he can act.
Hulk Hogan.
But Hulk Hogan, true story. Okay, so maybe
Andre
most
the
recognizable in this generation. Hey? What's that? I missed
Okay.
that, sorry.
I said Andre the
Andre
Giant.
the Giant.
He's pretty huge.
He's pretty huge.
Look at his hands, man. He's holding a can of beer.
He's literally huge. He's not just
Wow,
pretty
man,
huge.
even like
He's
think of
literally
Stone
huge,
Cold
yeah.
Steve Austin when he holds a beer. It's like either he's got giant hands or they just give him little midget throwdowns because he's like an average sized WWE star. But you see him because his thing is about drinking the beer and smashing it on his head, drinking another beer, smashing it on his head. But when you actually see him hold the can, where's the can gone?
Oh, wait.
Missed the laptop though.
Taxi.
Let me wipe that up.
There used to be a
Polish the table.
rule at a party house I'd go to where if you spilt your beer, you had to drink it up. So like
straight
these
away,
dudes would
yeah.
drink,
Yeah.
spill their beer on the carpet of this disgusting house.
Yeah.
Be like, you got to drink it.
Tastes like possum.
Oh, really?
That's
rough.
Very rough. How clean's the floor?
Oh, no, actually, it
It's
wasn't.
very clean in here. Sorry. Sound Out Studios.
Oh, this floor is very clean.
It actually wasn't as
this is a nice.
Just a lot of people lived
polished
there,
table.
and because it was known as the house where everybody hung out too, there's just always a lot of people there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a crack den or anything,
No.
but it was. You wouldn't want to be drinking.
That
your beer
reminds me
off,
of the
like,
time I
lips
was
on
in
the
a crack
floor.
den.
Yeah.
Remember
Crack
that
dens?
Sunset Junkie store where
That's
I
it.
ended up at a literal crack den?
I remember you started
boy.
drinking at 2 in the Arvo, and we didn't see you again until 10 o'clock the next day. You played a gig.
We played a gig.
We played a gig. Sorry, we started drinking, did the gig, and then you're like, I'm going to go party. And then you come walking up the street at 10 o'clock the next day.
I asked the dudes from Smokestack Rhino.
Confession time.
I said to Smokestack Rhino, right, we've never been to before. Where's the place that we can drink? And Kinger from Smokestack Rhino says, this blah, blah, blah pub. Just go there. I'm like, oh, you want to come? He's like, no. I gotta go. So me and this bloke I was with walked to this pub, and as we walked to the location that Google gave me, and it's like, permanently closed.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was too.
Permanently closed.
When you were telling us that the next day, you were telling the story.
Yeah. So Kinger steered us wrong. But this fella found out where the party was at, which for a speed addict means I know a whore who can give us some speed if I give her some dick, basically is what he was telling me. And she drove us to her place.
You think that's how the transaction worked? I thought
No. Well, I don't know. I've never sought speed. I was just hanging out with an old mate in a...
Oldest profession in the world, isn't it?
Uh-huh. She's
Definitely.
not an actual whore. She's actually a dealer of sorts. But I thought...
But you said she wanted
She's a whore to the drug.
Aren't we all? Where's my beer?
Where's my beer?
So she drove us back to her joint in a stolen vehicle, and they were very proud to talk about that. And so I took a photo. I took a little selfie, sent it to these blokes who were spooning at that lovely accommodation, which only had 2 beds. So where the fuck was I going to sleep? Fuck that. I'm not sleeping on the floor like a dog. I'm staying up all fucking night and having a party.
Haven't you ever shared beds?
Yeah, I don't like
Just
it.
every tour I've been on, I've slept in a bed with a dude because
but
we
you
can't
get-
afford the beds.
But if there's a queen-size bed and a couch, I'm happy. Right? At least there's 3 spots to sleep.
There was
This
a
only
queen
had
bed and a single bed.
There wasn't a single bed in this place, man. No. There was a queen bed.
Or then it was a fold-out couch or something. Because there were 2. We were on separate beds and we both had room.
You were on separate beds at that house?
Yeah. It was an Airbnb, John. It was my first
That's
time
not-
ever booking an Airbnb. And we were fortunate that you went out and partied that night because we were like, we can't bring Jez back here after he's been drinking all day.
Into this nice family household. Let's not bring that animal back with us.
But don't forget the
But
floor is there.
I saw some photos, which shocks me that there were actually 2 beds, because these photos were the 2 of you in the same bed.
I forgot about a photo from.
Oh yeah, I remember the photo.
I bet you do. You sent it to me not that long ago. You still
Here we
got
go.
it, don't you?
I've still got it. I've got a doctored copy of it from the Mad Irishman. The Mad Irishman got hold of a copy, and on his way,
Oh my God, the fucking Mad Irishman!
on his
Forgot about that cunt.
on his way to Pilbara, he had time to dummy up a little meme of that photo. That I still have a copy of that. Actually, I'll send it to you. I can put it up on the podcast if you.
Oh, please don't. Jesus.
Don't worry, I won't.
Oh.
So this podcast consent is a big thing, and you've just witnessed someone not giving me consent to do something absolutely
No.
ridiculous.
No way. That thing did enough of a round on Facebook. I got destroyed over that.
Oh,
But wait,
dear.
there's more.
It's already
That's
out
what,
there in the
day,
ether.
that's
I
what
will-
day drinking will do to you.
I will protect this image for you. But just know that the Mad Irishman still has a copy of that. And he emailed me that copy of that, and I said, I'm not cool with that, dude. I'm not cool with that. That's too much, man. And I bet that meant that he's got a saved copy, and he's going to use it in his DJ sets in Thailand or whatever the fuck.
No, he was going
Looking
over
for
to,
the
he was
printed-
going to, was it Switzerland? Sweden.
Switzerland.
One of those two.
Or walking down to the servo to get himself another pie or some shit. Oh, but he's got a servant that does that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I don't know if he does anymore.
Oh, good. Good. I hope he doesn't.
I don't know.
He doesn't deserve it.
I'm not sure. She might have gone back.
Remember the cockroaches?
I was just about to say that beer.
So we
no.
were staying, Robbie. We were staying at this place.
Oh, it's so gross.
We were staying at this place.
Oh, so
And
gross.
we all we had a big drinking session the night before. And as I do, I'll have a beer that I'm like, right, this is the one that I'm going to have before bed, and then I'll drink, leave about half of it and fall asleep.
What?
Yeah, that's what I do. I'll leave
goes
about
flat.
half so that when I wake up in the morning with a hangover, it's like the hair of the dog is right next to me. After a night like that, that's what I do. So this
So
particular
no bubbles,
plan.
no problem.
no bubbles, no problem.
No bubbles, no problem.
Cockroaches,
No hangover, no problem.
cockroaches, cucaracha, problemo.
You can
So
say
I've
that.
just-
Do you remember how it went down though?
Probably not, but the way I remember it is that you guys were already awake, and I've woken up, snuffled myself awake, and gone, "Where's my?" There it is, and I've just gone, taken a sip, and both Trickett and Byron have gone, "Jez, no cockroaches!" And I'm like, and just as they've said that, I felt like the carcass of a couple of cockroaches hit my gums, and I've just gone.
Like baby, freshly bred.
tiny,
like
tiny,
this place
oh my
was
goodness. Tiny little German cockies, man.
This place was a
Infestation.
nursery.
Yeah,
It's an absolute nursery for
Ugh,
these things. So
sickening.
I've gotten up in the morning, dusty, got all these fucking things around, start pouring them out, and I'm just pouring out, man. Like you wouldn't believe the amount of cockroaches that are coming out of these things. I'm not talking one or two.
Oh,
I'm
it was
talking
hideous.
everything I tipped out had like 10 of these fucking things in them.
That's
And
what
I've
you
come
call
out
an
to keep cleaning up.
infestation.
Seen
infestation
him.
of those little German cockies, man.
We slept on that floor.
Yeah,
And they slept on you.
I think I slept in the Mad Irishman's.
They slept
butt
in
den.
your ears. They slept in your nose. They could have even slept in your punani.
Probably in our stomach.
It's highly likely.
They might
Highly
have
likely.
crawled down our throats and slept in our esophagus.
That was the tour. I've got us bogged 2 hours into the fucking 18-hour drive.
Yeah, that's it. You did.
We were driving from Brisbane to Melbourne, and you remember we were driving. We left
a
early.
long
I
way.
missed out.
Oh, we left plenty of time.
I missed out on seeing Meshuggah in Brisbane because we were booked to do a radio show. What we had? We had our first gig on like a Friday night, so we were getting there Thursday morning to do radio Thursday night and do the show Friday night.
Yep.
So we're leaving on a Tuesday, so it's sort of like Brisbane to Sydney-ish
Yep.
on the Tuesday, Sydney to Melbourne-ish Wednesday, and then we're there Thursday.
Australia's crazy big.
Meshuggah played in Brisbane on that Tuesday night we were leaving, so I was pissed. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get a chance to see him in Melbourne. We won't have time. I'll miss out on seeing him here because we got to leave. So we're on the road. For some reason, we're going out past Warwick. We weren't going
That's
the
right.
main highway. We were going,
Wherever
like,
we had to be, like there was some radio interview. It wasn't in a straight line, but it was kind of like on the way ish.
I think we were playing there on the way back or something. So we were driving past there on the way down to promote us coming on the way back.
On the way back.
Was it something like that?
Something like that.
Must have been.
Something like that. Anyway.
We were like
Please,
outside of
my
Warwick
dear,
somewhere.
go on.
Coming down, see a detour ahead, and it shoots down this dirt road.
It's fucking dirt road.
And I'm like,
You're on the North England. Well, you were on the North England.
that
eh?
sounds right. Yeah.
New England.
Yeah.
New England.
Oh, New England. Sorry, yeah, New England.
That's that inland route.
Yeah.
Come driving down. I'm like, nah, don't like this. Let's turn around. And it's just where I turned off this road into just sink.
Yeah.
Get
We-
fucked. It was
I've done that
raining.
It was,
before.
I think it was when
It
you
was
tried
cold.
to. We
I know
realised
what
that
you
we
mean,
were
I've done
making
that
a bad.
before.
We all kind of realised that this was a bad decision to go down this road, and then you started to turn around, and that's when it was just like
Yeah, out.
gone. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So
So Craig's got some crazy roads.
2 hours into our 18-hour drive.
Yeah, of
I
our
fucking
2
bog
week
us.
tour.
Also, these days, what makes it worse is you got your Google Maps showing you all the roads. So you go, oh, there's a road. So I'm on the New England, because this is what happened to me. Very similar story. I'm on the New England. But if I just go on this road here on the map, I can hit the Pacific. And then you hit that road, and all of a sudden you're in all the hills and not getting lost, but, you know, like you said, poor roads and tricky situations all the way through. So take the highways, people.
I like to stay off the highways. I like to see new things. So I like to avoid highways personally. But you will get bogged. And remember when we were in that situation, this is when you first introduced us to the Big Les show, I think.
Oh, was it?
us, we were fucking stuck and you're just like, let's watch this, man. So let's have 2 hours of just laughing at stupid shit.
Well, it was
But
2
remember,
hours.
it took so long for the tow truck to get there. But remember, there was this old lady that was just there staring at us.
I remember that.
We're just there stuck. See, this is something that I remember then. We were just standing there stuck, and there's this old lady just staring at us crankily. What the fuck are they doing on my fucking road? This is my road.
What are they doing on my road?
Is this trouble? Am I looking at trouble? And then as we're driving out, you've actually made a little comment. You've said, "Oh, thanks for your help."
Oh, did I? I don't remember this at all.
I remember that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Fuck her. What an idiot.
Oh, I'm glad I did then.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
Excellent.
Don't take no shit off of nobody. What it
I'm
comes
a
down, man.
badass mother. Don't take no crap off of nobody.
Again.
Hey, where you going?
I see pride. I see power.
Classic movie.
What's
That'll
your?
never
Do you
not
have
be
a
funny.
favorite movie?
Oh God, I was dreading that question. I do, but I don't. It's too hard. There are
Have you
too
got top
many.
3, top 5?
Oh, Airheads is up there.
Airheads is up there. Yeah, man, that's a great movie. That's in my top
Airheads is
10.
up there. Half Baked. It's. I don't
That's
know
some
why
stupid shit.
it is, but it's still hilarious. And I got Fight Club.
Fight Club's great.
Yep.
Good book too.
I haven't read the book yet.
Have you checked out the audiobooks? Audible's audiobooks?
I tried the audiobooks. I didn't like it for Fight Club. I was listening to an
Okay.
audiobook for something else, and it was cool. I need to sit down and read it. I'm only halfway through Survivor.
Oh, right.
I haven't picked it up
That's
for
a good one.
ages.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I just got up to the point where she's told him that she can see the future. Or like she has the dreams of premonitions, and like they're going into the place that's
Yeah,
going to catch
yeah,
fire. It's like, it's
yeah.
okay, we're going to be okay. And that's the last thing that I remember.
Oh, man.
He saw his brother. He realised it was
Yeah.
his brother.
Right
and
on.
then that happened with that, and that's where I'm up to so
Right
far.
on.
So I can only imagine that there's still some big twists to go yet. But
So, Jobbie.
Chuck Palahniuk, awesome.
Yeah. The same dude that wrote the book Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk, or however you pronounce it. Palahniuk, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Some Polish name.
Some stupid Palashchuk, Quish kind of Polish name. He wrote Fight Club, and it's fucking messed up, man. The actual book, like what I like to do, if I like a movie that's based on a book, I love reading the book. Going back and reading the book after I've seen a movie that I liked, because I know that whoever adapted it into a film fucking loved the book.
Is the book way, 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 way bigger than the film?
What do you mean by bigger?
Like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like, the storyline is just way more fleshed out than the film.
Nah,
but
it's
the
only a small
film is
book.
still awesome.
It's a, what do you
It's
call
not
it, a short novel?
Yeah, it's only a small novel. But in terms of
But I mean, like,
depth, are you talking in terms of depth?
Yeah.
Depth of
information.
character. Fight Club, depth of character and depth of like understanding the poor bastard's thought processes. You can go into that a lot deeper than you can in a movie. Like if you're writing a novel, you can talk about someone's thinking about thinking and about thinking level that can't ever be shown in a movie. So yeah, Fight
Unless
Club,
you narrate,
definitely.
but yes.
But Chuck Palahniuk also wrote a book called Survivor that Trickett's just been talking about. It's about this dude that was the only surviving member of a suicide cult. And he ended up starting his own suicide helpline.
Right.
So he posted little flyers around all the places as a suicide helpline and would build relationships with these people under the guise of trying to get them to get better. But his goal was actually to talk them into actually committing suicide. Yeah, that was his goal, was to actually get them to kill themselves.
Why?
And
Survivor's guilt.
the
Survivor's guilt.
cult as well were bred into slavery. So for the regular world, these people were their slaves. And go out, they beat the guard, their helping
That's
hands.
right. I remember that now. I'd forgotten about that part.
So
but yeah,
it'd be
definitely.
the eldest son would carry on the family name and stay in the cult, and every other child after the first son would be sent into slavery.
Sent into slavery. Like literally sent into slavery. And so he's like the second
But
son.
sadly, that kind of thing happens.
Oh
Yeah, man. It's a dark book. I'm not saying it's a positive, pleasant read. It's a very entertaining read, but it's not positive and pleasant, man.
It's
It's
dark.
dark and nefarious.
I believe you.
Such a good read, though. That guy's mind. That guy's mind is quite frightening. His books, all of them, are so fucked up, man. They're all so fucked up. I've read a few of them, and the guy is a maniac. He's a maniac. How do you think of this shit? And then in his books, okay, let's say Fight Club. This is one thing that you don't get from the movie, right? This guy, when you know how in the movie Fight Club, they blow up the city. In the book, there is a detailed description of how to make the explosives that they use when they blow up the city. So yeah, we're talking about characters who blow up a city, but it's almost like reading the anarchist's cookbook. When you actually read this segment, he's actually saying, this is how you do it. If you want to blow up a city, here's the recipe. Here it is.
How
Do
long
with
do
it-
you reckon it's outlawed?
Oh man, I think thank fuck we're not being run by the Catholic Church anymore, who have this forbidden book library, and every country has a bit of sovereignty on that point. I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about the Vatican Library.
No.
They do-
The Library of Forbidden Books or whatever it's called.
Never heard of it.
All right, look it up. Look it up.
You seen Fight Club?
Yeah,
Forbidden
yeah.
Books.
You sort of have to ask, but
At uni, we used to have our own fight club. You actually came in forward in it.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, really?
Kicked some ass.
Yeah, we called it
I
chess
kicked-
club.
I kicked ass.
We'd put down, we want to rent.
were you
not
allowed
rent.
to talk about chess club?
Yeah. Chess
Well-
club. It doesn't exist anymore, so we're allowed to talk about it. But we just book a room and call it chess club. Sorry for
To
lying.
the authorities.
Sorry for lying about that. But it wasn't just me, it was a whole bunch of people.
There was a group.
So
There was
we-
a group of us.
Yeah.
I was
Whole bunch of
I was
people.
invited to chess club, and I won.
The responsibility
time.
was diffused.
I
This was
destroyed
all of
the
us.
leader with several kidney
Rook
punches.
rook to
Several kidney punches.
M7?
It
No,
was
doesn't go up
like
to M, does it?
We had a couple of rules.
Rook jumps
no
over.
punches to the face. Nothing
Rook
to the
takes
nuts.
king, motherfucker.
But our two
Fucking
rules
pawn
were nothing
takes
face,
king.
nothing nuts. But otherwise, it was
It's
go
fun.
for your
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
No,
It was
nothing
fun, man.
face.
Nothing
No
face,
face.
nothing
We had a
nuts.
no face rule.
Yeah.
What,
we,
you-
we were only amateurs, man.
No face, no nuts. But
That's fun,
otherwise,
eh?
go for your life.
Yeah.
There was
Punch.
lots of kidney punches, man.
Punch away, kick away.
Do you reckon
But
we'll
when they
see...
say stop, you'd stop hitting them in the liver. That's one thing I learned.
Oh, and
that
the liver
night.
punches too. Yeah,
The liver punches.
Oh, did you cop a liver? Did you?
No. I destroyed the leader of chess club with several kidney
Oh,
punches and a
that
liver
was.
shot.
We won't mention
guy.
names, but yes.
Everybody knows him.
I got a funny story about
Initials
liver
DP.
shots. I got a friend, that is a like martial arts instructor,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's been training a cop, and just sort of one so that he can learn how to roll and handle himself properly. He was never a fighter or physical person, but has gone into a industry that is surrounded by
I think it's important
violence.
for everybody to at least defend yourself. Very good skills.
Yeah, he's like was training for some time, and one of the things that he was big on is a liver shot.
Oh yeah.
He's got
Man,
into
that'll
an
take him down.
altercation with someone one time, and he'd been training for quite a while at this point as well. And he's
Right in
like,
the
"Oh,
back. Right in
they
the
did."
back.
He was explaining how it all went down. This person did this, and then they did that, and I'm trying to keep him calm, and just sort of keeping them off me, and they're trying to swing, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And he goes, "I caught him in a certain position." He goes, "And then I just saw it. I saw what you've been talking about." He's like, "What have I been talking about?" He goes, "That liver."
Bang.
Like this dude out with a liver shot.
Oh man. It'll knock him down.
I don't think I've ever been caught in a liver. Or not by a fist, but I've definitely
That
been
was
caught
the
in a liver
second
by a big
time I
knife.
destroyed someone in
I've
my
been
life.
caught in
That
the
was the
liver by a
second
bit
liver
of
shot.
this.
There was a dude when I was in high school, grade 9 or 10. There's some dickhead talking shit about my sister because he thought I was an easy target. And then, like, this was on a sports day or something, and we were on the same bus, and he was just rang about my sister. And he stepped off the bus. I let him go ahead a little bit. Then I ran full pelt, smack right in the fucking liver. Sent him to hospital. Fucking
really?
I was suspended.
Hospital?
I was suspended for a week, man, because that cunt was in hospital with like tendrils coming out of his on his skin. You could see. Fucking, it's like, no, you don't get away with that, son. Taught him a thing or two.
Ouchie.
Right?
Ouchie, ouch. Yeah, it's kind of
I'm a
like
punch in the back kind of guy, right?
it kind of like
I'll give
whinge
you
you,
enough
doesn't it?
rope and then I'm going to fucking destroy you.
But liver
that
shot
kind of
kind of
guy.
whinge you.
Yeah, man.
Like you feel it go.
Yeah,
Up
when you
through.
hit them, when you get a run up and hit them hard enough, they feel it through every single organ.
That feeling of being winded
Fuck those cunts.
sucks. And I haven't had
yes.
it for so long either. I remember, who did it happen to? To someone, might have even been someone's kid.
Oh, yeah.
But, got winded. And it's just like, oh, fuck. You're like, you're all right. You're winded. You're going to get it back. But still just that panic. Like, I can't, I've hit myself so hard I can't breathe. What the fuck?
Yep. And asthmatics feel like that more often. than
Oh,
not.
true
man.
story.
My girlfriend has adult onset asthma.
What? Adult onset asthma?
Yeah.
You
so
serious?
never had it as a kid.
Sure, it's not something else.
No, it's asthma.
Just asthma.
Yep.
I shouldn't just say just asthma.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
What else could it
But-
be? What are you asking about?
Oh, just seeing if it's
Like an
'cause
allergy
Adult
or-
onset asthma.
I used to live with a guy that
Just
got
wondering
adult. He
what
was
the
he
cause
was
is.
what
That's what I'm wondering.
23 or something at the time, so he's still pretty young, but he got like adult onset asthma. So it is a thing.
I'm just wondering what the cause
What
is.
causes it? Yeah. Maybe it's something that's just lying dormant in someone's system that comes on.
Because childhood asthma is way more common, sticking with you for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, she got diagnosed with
Interesting.
it a couple of years ago. And it's one you never realise. Like, if you haven't seen it firsthand or aren't close to somebody that has it,
I've
and I was
seen
the
people
same,
go to
like,
hospital,
I never
man.
knew the severity of how bad it can be. And you do you play it off. It can be triggered by anything, man. Like a short amount of spice, the weather. The weather's a huge one.
That's a big one for my brother.
And
Yep.
I've unfortunately, I suppose I'm lucky in a sense as well that I've witnessed it and understand what to do now as well. But like a severe attack
It's
to
scary.
the point where someone goes unconscious and needs to be resuscitated is
Scary.
frightening.
No, definitely.
Sure is.
It's
Yeah, man.
extremely frightening, and it sucks
Sure
too,
is.
man. And now that I'm aware of it, and you do see the complacency.
I know
that comes along
exactly
with
what
it,
you're
where
talking
people
about.
just,
Yeah.
why don't you just get over it? Like, no,
yeah.
man.
Very, very scary stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, we were talking about
And
it the other day too.
if you don't have your breath, what the fuck have you got? You know? You got no way. So what I understand of asthma, it's like you can breathe in, but you can't breathe out or some shit. And so it's like this, you're fucking suffocating in like, ugh.
Well, the way that it's been explained to me is that it doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't catch
Yeah, you can't. It's almost like emphysema then.
It's not cool.
Nah.
And what we were talking about with the Brazil rainforest at the moment.
my
and your
God.
comment
Oh,
about
goodness.
it too, with what
That's a
effect
worry,
this will
man.
have on
Contemporary
the fucking
topic.
world,
Brazil.
but on
Damn.
asthmatics as well.
On asthmatics, man. They already find it hard enough to
They'll
breathe.
be the first
What
to
if the world
drop
literally loses one of its lungs and can only produce?
Hold on, before you
half
go any
the-
further there, what is the other lung?
Indonesia through the equator, like Indonesia.
Yeah,
the
what's
main
that?
one?
What's that rainforest called? There's another.
I don't know what
There's
the
another big
Indonesian
forest.
rainforest
It's
is
not-
called,
it's-
but you're looking through Papua New Guinea and Indonesia.
It's
all those.
nothing like the Amazon.
Oh no,
equatorial-
nothing like the Amazon. It's more spread out.
No, it's nothing like the Amazon. No. But that's probably the next biggest, I would think. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Google it. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure Indonesia's the next biggest one. We've got a fair bit in North Queensland.
It is definitely.
Yeah,
it's
David.
definitely on that Asian continent, isn't it? Oh no, is it? No.
Well, they got a lot of rainforests through Thailand and
Through
into
Thailand
like
and
Laos,
that.
Cambodia. That's all
Yeah.
Cambodia,
rainforestry,
that's
isn't
all
it?
rain. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Vietnam.
that type.
Yeah.
What do they
Like
call
all-
it? The
all that through
monsoon
there.
region. Lots of rainforests. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the time lapse of the globe going through the seasons? Where you see the ice caps expanding and then like
Yes.
contracting in summer,
Yeah.
and it looks like an entity breathing.
Oh, the Earth is alive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a cool something I saw a few years ago that you wouldn't consider. Like, over a long enough time period, the survival rate drops to 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that breathing like pattern, and then considering Brazil, the Amazon being the lungs.
Oh, the Earth is alive, and it's going to have its revenge.
Oh,
It already
absolutely.
is. It already
Yes.
is
We
having
are
its
the
revenge.
cancer
100%
plaguing
agree
this
with
planet.
you. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I hear what you're
would.
saying.
I fucking
I
absolutely
don't think.
would.
I don't think
You
humans
have
are cancerous.
to take it into.
Oh, not us as cancerous, but the world's going to...
Oh, not us as individuals, but
away
us
its
as a
problems
species.
eventually.
Absolutely, we are a goddamn cancer. I 100% believe that. We are.
Go on.
Well, we are
have-
doing damage.
You
Go on.
got to play to the dumbest
The
1%.
Congo.
The Congo.
Let's not forget about the goddamn
Africa
Congo,
yes,
right?
as well, yeah. Yep. In the middle of Africa, yep.
And the taiga is apparently
What is it?
Asia, Europe, North America. Must stretch across the 3 continents, and it's almost its own biosphere. It's not technically
Technically.
Taiga. Taiga is technically not a forest. It is a biome. It's a biological and ecological system in the form of a forest. So you've got a bunch of different types of trees, but it covers most of the northern Russia and North American below the tundra. So
yeah, that's not
it-
rainforest, eh?
Yeah. But this is in terms of like the biggest forests in the world.
Yeah.
We're
Regular
not
forest,
talking
yeah.
rainforest because like that negates all the other types of
But
forests
that's the
that are
crazy
also
thing
just
about
as
the
important.
Amazon. It's a
And the
rain
Congo,
forest.
the Congo,
and
the
it's
Congo,
on
I think
fire.
is what most people would
How
think
crazy
of
is that?
in terms of like the biggest forests, actual standing forests. You'd think Congo, Amazon, but this one is something even bigger than both of them. So big it actually spans 3 continents. But it's not a rainforest. It's made up of a whole. It's almost like you look at. So from the understanding of what I've just read briefly, in the same way that you can have a mountain range that's individual mountains, but it's all part of the same range across an entire continent. This is like that, but a forest. So it's like a range or a belt even. You know? A belt,
That's an interesting
a
way
belt
of
of
looking at it.
trees. You know, and
You
a
said it
belt
went
of
like
land.
Asia up through Europe,
Asia
which
up through Europe and over to North America.
over.
So that's through
over
Russia,
the
through
north,
Russia.
like, through Russia,
through
and
Russia.
then
you're
like
talking about
across to.
Siberia
Yeah, through
to
Russia.
Alaska.
Yeah, that's right. But it said
that's still
below,
deemed
it said-
Europe?
It says below the tundra, so it's Russia's part of Europe.
That
But
is-
it's
that
not
is
rainforest.
That's considered Europe. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. That's mainland Europe.
But it's not rainforest.
No, but it's one of the lungs.
crazy thing
one
about
of
the
the
Amazon
three
is
lungs of the world.
It's a rainforest.
And then you have the ocean. Oh shit!
And it's on fire
Yeah,
when
that's
it should
right.
be raining.
One of our 3 lungs, one of Mother Earth's 3 lungs is on fire so
They've been
bad that you
cutting
can
it
see the
down to grow
smoke.
soybeans and
Yeah, and all
fucking
that
cows,
stupid
cows.
shit. Yeah. All bullshit. What a bunch of wankers.
I don't know why they're doing that because apparently it's
They're
very
morons.
poor
Most
soil
people are
Yeah,
morons.
I heard that
so-
too. It's shit for growing it. So
It's only
what
good
the
for one
fuck?
thing. That's why it grew there.
They'd have to compost the shit out of the
Ayahuasca.
topsoil.
Maybe they're burning it because they're so sick of so many Americans going down there to do ayahuasca.
and they're coming back enlightened.
Coming back in line.
I haven't met
get rid
a
of the
person that
ayahuasca.
has done a proper ayahuasca trip that has not said it changed their life for the better.
How many people have you met that have done an ayahuasca trip?
I know fucking heaps that have done
Have
it.
you?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I actually know anyone personally.
Yeah,
that's
man.
done
I've
like
got
an
a big
ayahuasca
group of
thing.
mates. So
Yeah,
they're
right.
like have done it a few times. Another mate of mine, a good mate of mine, him and his partner went over to, I think they went into Peru to do it.
That's where the fire started.
And they did a 7-day, where they do 7 days of temple.
Right on, extreme.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
extreme.
went through the proper process.
Mm.
And
I'd love to do that, man. I'm fascinated by that. I'd love to do that. But I'm probably already, like, I might be too crazy, too fucked in the head to handle it. I don't know.
it
I
might
like
be the very
mushrooms.
thing that balances
It
you
could
out.
be, man. Like, I like
Mushrooms
mushrooms.
are good.
I'm a big fan of psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
I like tripping on that
Oh,
shit.
yeah. I got some great stories about psilocybin.
Like what?
All right, so how's this? I grew up with an absolute phobia of mushrooms. My mum is severely allergic to mushrooms. Like she has the smallest amount of a mushroom.
Your regular mushrooms that you eat from the
Yeah,
supermarket.
yeah, like your cut mushrooms, whatever.
Want a cider? Water? Tea? Coffee?
Cider, man. I love
Yeah.
cider. He
Just check if you
Let me
get
duck
knocked,
off
check
the
that
screen for
camera
the
too, please, man. Just make sure it's still rolling.
yeah, she'd have.
Oh, I can do it. If I didn't realise the cider was just there.
No, it is too. Or should we just start all this again then? We'll keep going?
Start again.
Start again.
Start again. Start again.
As I told him, my mum getting sick with mushrooms. So yeah, she'd have
No
like, the
sleep tonight.
smallest amount and just be violently ill. For I don't know for how long. Last time it happened was when I was a kid.
By
I'd have
ill,
to
do you
ask
mean
her.
vomit or shit? Or both?
Vomiting.
Vomiting. Okay.
And just severely, like can't move, almost like a severe case of food poisoning. And apparently her father was the same. He had the severe allergy to it. So I'd had eaten something that had mushroom in it, knowing how sick they always got from it. And it's obviously just played on my mind. It was always a head
This could
thing.
be poisonous.
Yeah, like, oh no, I don't want to eat this because there is a likely chance I'm very allergic to this. Never touched them. And I remember in my early 20s, they were like, oh man, does that mean like you can't have like fun mushrooms either? I'm like, nope, no way. No thank
have
you.
fun
I'm
mushrooms.
not going anywhere near them bad boys. And not
Can't
that I
have fun
wanted
mushrooms.
to either for fear of, losing my mind on a trip, never coming out of the trip. One of those common fears that people have when it comes to psychedelics. But yeah, it was a point for me, man. The first ever Like Thieves show, we all went out for dinner before. So we went and did the sound check, going out to dinner, sitting down. Everyone we're at a Chinese restaurant and there's like all the band girlfriends. The dude was doing sound for us. Everyone's eating, everyone's trying each other's food. And my girlfriend at the time was eating a soup and she gets down to the bottom of it and there's mushrooms in it. And I'd had a couple of goes at this soup. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. And that night I was the sickest I'd ever been. I puked all
So you're
night.
allergic as well?
I wasn't. It was just a coincidence. I'd picked up a bug. So like a couple of nights later, she was even sicker than I was. So, but it all still played into that fear. I'm like, no, I don't want to touch them. I'm sick. I'm just like, they're going to make me sick.
Yep. Not a great mushroom history.
No. So fast forward a few more years, I finally realized, like I've had a couple of instances where I've eaten them by accident and nothing happened. All right, gonna give it a go. Why not? Ate them, love them now. And then, finally worked up the courage to try taking mushrooms. Had mushroom tea with some friends once and got a little bit giggly and nothing really extreme happened.
I've never had those kind of mushrooms. I have had trips, but not those kind of mushrooms. But when I was a kid, I hated regular mushrooms. I thought they looked disgusting, this boiled black stuff. How can people eat that? But I really like cooked mushrooms now. I love them. Totally love them.
I'm still funny with them when they're raw. I won't like it's a texture thing for me as well. Something funny about it.
Cooked is better.
But I still do like I smash them now, and I forgot the other point I was going to make.
Cooked is tastier.
Cooked
A little
is
bit
tasty.
of butter or some oil, olive oil, something like that.
Yeah, butter and garlic. Having them with
A little bit of
eggs.
garlic. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this is business. So as like time went on, started to realize, I don't actually have an allergy to this. Like it skipped that generation, or I missed out on that gene. Sweet. Started to drip feed them, and one of my friends who had access to mushrooms was like, "Oh, do you want to give these a go? We'll make a tea." Fuck it, why not? I've heard a lot about this stuff, and a lot of friends that have done it and never said anything bad about it. Let's give it a go. Made a tea, brewed them all up, come in, like have a couple of sips, and he's pounding it. I'm like, "You gonna be all right?" He goes, "No, this isn't gonna be enough to get us there. Like, you're gonna be fine." And still just me
Would
freak.
it tasted disgusting?
It wasn't bad, man.
Really?
It was just like a herbal tea.
Oh.
Like it wasn't. But at the same time, there wasn't 5,000 mushrooms in it. They were only like tiny
Didn't have a funky
little
taste?
ones. No, not that I remember.
Huh?
I don't remember it being bad. I remember eating the mushrooms out of the teapot afterwards. That was a bit weird. 'Cause it was slimy and juicy and been soaking. But it was funny, man. My first time ever doing it was just like everything sort of became more vibrant. Things got a little giggly. I noticed a couple of things that were a bit different, but that was it. I didn't trip out. I didn't lose control.
Sounds like you had a microdose.
Yeah. Well, that was, and I was doing that for a little while too.
Yep.
So just small doses every
Yep.
day.
Yep.
And for a couple of weeks, I was doing that for.
Yep.
And I felt the best I had ever felt. Hands down, the best I'd ever felt.
Yep, yep. You probably had the dosage probably right.
Both. Both, man. I was sleeping well. I was in a good mindset. It just...
Everything's a matter of dosage, really. You take a hardcore, trip, which I've done before. Jeez, transportation. Gee whiz.
What do you mean? Transported where?
Could be anywhere. Could be anywhere.
you
I've
talking
had good ones. I've had
multidimensional
bad
or-
ones.
With what, though? Didn't you say that you hadn't done mushrooms?
With LSD.
Okay, so I haven't done LSD.
Me neither.
LSD.
Me neither.
That's one that fears. And Norm MacDonald's got a really funny bit about that.
So does
It's
Henry
like-
Rollins.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Oh,
having a
yeah,
flashback.
man. Okay, different story.
No,
You tell
because
yours.
he's like, you got to be careful with that LSD because, 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, you could have a flashback. He goes, so you're telling me I pay $5 for a drug now, I get high, and then 30 years go by and I get high again. That sounds great.
yeah. And he's still pissed off because he still hasn't had a decent flashback. I remember
Oh,
the
really?
end of
Yeah,
that
I would
bit.
agree with that
The
bit.
end of that bit is that he paid this $5 to have
Flashbacks
a
aren't
fucking
guaranteed.
flashback, and it never happened.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't had one.
how long ago did you have it? Like,
Like
your
you
most
said,
serious
probably-
dose?
How old was I? 18, so
20 years, man.
20 years, something like that.
You're 38.
41, man.
41.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking good, sir.
I'm just not hairy.
Apart from all those
I
wrinkles.
And
look,
no-
I
no
look older
greys
than
yet.
you.
Hey?
I look older than you.
Oh, I don't know.
I reckon.
I get that people say that to me all the time, though.
I
So
definitely look older than you.
It's not something
People
I've
tell
heard
me
for
that
the
I look
first
younger
time.
than I am. People usually
Yeah, you
think
do.
I'm about
I didn't
10
think you
years
were as old
younger.
as you were.
People usually think I'm 10 years younger than I actually am. I don't know.
Like
It
me.
ain't good living. I don't know.
When I was 18, people thought I was 28.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, jeans are jeans.
I was 19. People thought I was 9.
Lucky you. Man, my girlfriend's
It's hard
30.
to buy booze when they think you look like you're 9 years old.
My girlfriend's 36, and she still gets carded when she goes to buy
Man.
drinks.
She's an
that was
attractive
probably
woman,
around the
man.
last
Yes.
time I got carded, actually, yeah. Around 30, 35, 36, yeah. was
I
carded
haven't
then.
been carded since I was 17.
What happens
I was.
when you shave your beard off? Do you get...
I look fat.
Oh, okay.
Fat head.
Yeah, right.
And I got no
I
chin.
look-
I
I
don't
look-
think I have
I
a
look
chin.
like
I've been
I'm
told
s-
otherwise.
That's what
but-
they say about people with beards.
I look like I'm
They say
16
they've got
again.
no chin.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man,
it's like
I
you,
do. I got a fat head.
they don't think you... They never expect your chin
Or
to
they're
be
not
as small
happy
as
with
it
their
is.
chin or something.
That happens. That happens. Like when I
dude,
shave
look
my
at the
beard off,
weird-
I'm like, eh.
Like, it doesn't
Where'd
look
my
like I
chin
have
go?
a double chin now, but when I shave this off, I fucking got a double chin.
Right,
Totally
right.
self-conscious.
Yeah, extremely.
Cover up the double chin.
Mm.
Well, at least you've got a beard to do that. If I get a double chin, probably a problem.
What was that? Oh,
Jeremy's doing a
playing
flashy.
with things.
I'm flashing.
Stop flashing.
Means he's excited.
Put your butthole away.
Oi.
That's what he does when he's excited. Flashy flash.
There we go.
Flashy flash.
So I had this really cool. I had this really cool trip. I played this gig. I was actually in both the bands. I was in the support act and the headlining act. And after it, I had this old mate that invited me back to his joint on the Sunshine Coast for a mushroom party. Oh man!
I've heard this before, but
Yeah.
continue.
And it was honestly, it just like he said to me straight up. He said, if you start to trip, that's when you know you've had too much. Just ease on up.
When
So-
you start to trip,
Yeah,
that's when you know you've had too much.
Exactly. It's like an arm bar.
It's too late at that point.
Yeah, but what it means is it's too late. Either dive straight into the trip or stop.
Just don't have any more, please.
Don't have any more of my stuff.
Why don't you just say, please have no more?
Have no more. Yeah, but it was funny as fuck because there was this dude just noodling away on guitar. Like, okay, man, there's a whole backstory here. It feels like this particular trip felt like it was about 3 lifetimes of backstory. That the 8 of us around the table, it was like a meeting of the Eternal Council, right? And we're just talking all this shit, and everybody's just blabbing on about what the fuck they've got to say. But I hear this guy, Uncle, with his head down on the table. I remember that happening 200 years ago with your soul. And like, it was just fucking this awesome trip. But there was this one dude that was just noodling away on the guitar, right? And it was really irritating me. Just playing covers, and he was really good. Like, there was nothing wrong with what he was playing, but there was something about him that I just didn't like. Like, I just had this intuition about the dude that it's like there's something dark and dirty about him that I really don't like. And I took a total negative liking to it. Not a negative liking to him, not a hatred of him, but like a total dislike of this dude who I'd never met before, that it felt like 500 years ago, maybe he fucked my wife or some shit, you know, and maybe that's what the problem was. I don't know. But what it really was, there was some kind of intuition. I picked up on some kind of body language about him that I just felt like he was dangerous and not a good person. And,
That's what you call tripping.
It's what you call tripping. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Well, I don't know. But is it just tripping? Is it
what
just a
is
mindset,
tripping?
or
But what
are
is
you
tripping?
tapping
What
into
is
something
tripping?
else?
What
is
is
it
tripping?
removing a filter and you're starting to
Think fifth dimensionally.
fourth dimensionally?
It's definitely
Fifth,
different.
man. Let's go
It's
past the
definitely
fourth.
different. It's not reality.
Fourth is when you can move back.
What is reality?
What is reality? I really think that it is a
Reality
different
is
level
just
of reality.
electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Exactly. Interpretation is reality.
You got to take that red pill, sir.
And
We got
my
red cables running around
interpretation
here.
of this particular
Just
reality
reflecting
is
on
that
the
this dude
experience,
wasn't
I
a good
definitely had
dude. And
hallucinations.
he was all smiles, but there were fucking sharpened teeth behind that smile. Rows of jagged shark teeth in every smile.
I'm just
And so,
reflecting.
like,
I
I had
remember
this
seeing
altercation.
pictures that are stationary, moving.
Yeah, but that's the thing with mushrooms is that it becomes more sociable, a more social experience
Oh,
than.
I'm talking LSD.
Yeah, see, I'm talking mushrooms, which is a more natural substance and a more
believe
earthly substance. Like how can I put this? Realer in a 6th dimensional way.
Well, it's not synthetic.
It's not
At least
synthetic,
that's a start.
man. And it was here. So LSD has only been around, what,
Since the 50s?
50 years
60s?
compared to, and how long have humans
In
been
terms
around?
of the synthetic,
How long
Yeah.
have humans been around?
Oh,
65
no.
million? Humans have been around
they were trialing LSD on World War II soldiers, so probably around
100 years. 100 years.
Yeah,
The blink of an eye.
close to
in
50s. I'll
human
probably
history.
go 40s or 30s.
If you
That
want
would
to
be my guess.
if you want to believe science and timelines and things like that, they say that we've been anatomically modern for 200,000 years.
200,000 years, okay. Humans, if you want to be, all of these, I can't remember what did you say?
Anatomically modern.
Anatomically modern. Let's delve into that in a second. What the fuck do you mean by that?
Homo sapiens.
Just let me make my point. 200,000 years.
I get what he means.
And LSD, the chemical substance, has only been around for less than 100. Whereas mushrooms, psilocybin, has been around for much longer than 200,000 years.
Oh, yes, it has.
Fungi
You've heard of-
definitely outdates humans. So
Terence McKenna's theory,
Totally.
the stoned ape theory.
stoned ape. I've heard this theory. Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
human
explain it,
consciousness
but I know what you're
was
Yes, I've heard
brought
this.
into by the fact that a couple of hungry monkeys that come down out of the trees when the
Just found
habitat
some mushrooms.
started to change, found psilocybin mushrooms, and that's what spawned consciousness. It's a theory.
I don't
I've
buy
heard
it
that
though.
too, and I think
Yeah, but
Nah.
why not?
Because I don't know.
maybe
Just
mushrooms are God.
don't buy that theory. Question. I'm not sure. Not sure. I'm open to it though. I'm open to it.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
buy
not-
it, but I'm open to it.
It's something that makes sense in an evolutionary sense.
There's
There
a
is
lot
a
of
logic to
There's
the
a lot of
theory.
logic to
Yeah.
that one.
There's a
lot of
logic to the
logic
theory.
to the theory.
You know, and then you look at things like ayahuasca, where the Amazonians say that, well, the spirits told us what trees to use. There's some
Yeah, that's
ridiculous amount of plants, fauna. The fauna or flora?
Flora.
Flora. Sorry. Yeah, science wasn't my strong
Oh,
point.
gee. Keep going, though.
However many different species there are,
My guy.
but it's only those two. The one containing DMT, rich, the bark, I think it is, and then
Bark.
there's the second tree that cancels out the enzyme
Talking
in your
about the
stomach.
acacia tree.
The brewing.
Is it
of
the
ayahuasca.
acacia tree?
That's the one you're bringing up, I think.
I know that
The
they
acacia
say the theory behind Moses and the burning bush was that the burning bush was an acacia tree, which is rich in
Really?
DMT.
I've heard that.
And
I've
then
heard
he had
that. I've heard
Joe, Joe Rogan
Oh, you
said
saw that on
something
Joe
about that
Rogan,
on that podcast he does, the biggest
That
one
experience. Yeah. The
Burning
king.
bush is the acacia tree.
ever.
I
But
wonder
you
who
smoke
That
them?
was a
Can you
theory, and
smoke
then
those. Can you
he's
smoke them?
he's had a DMT trip, and that's where the commandments come from.
People
I've heard
smoke,
that
do
theory,
people
man.
smoke
I've heard that
DMT
theory.
or do they take it?
You can
Orally.
smoke it.
You can smoke it.
Well, you have
that
to
you can
take it
smoke it, okay.
orally. You have to mix it with this other tree because
Yeah.
it can somehow cancels out the enzyme
That
and
break it
allows
down
you
too fast
because
or
there's something
something.
in your stomach that cancels it out. That's why it doesn't work. That's
Right.
when you smoke it. It's only a short trip. When you orally take it and it gets processed by your liver,
Yeah,
then it goes through that
That's
different
right.
process. So
That's
that's where
right.
the difference is with smoking
Slower
DMT and then
release.
doing the ayahuasca trip.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, instead of it being 15 minutes, it lasts several hours. But even I've heard people say, I haven't experienced DMT myself yet, but I will.
Me neither. Yeah.
Um,
I say yet as well.
That 15 minutes can seem like a much longer set of time.
Oh,
and I have
apparently the
heard
trip is
people
very
say
short.
that on
In terms
that
of actual
3 hour,
time, but in terms of perceived time,
yeah,
Which
it's
is
huge.
that's where it becomes fourth dimensional, man. Like
That's
you
a lot of
enter
narratives about that,
fourth
yeah.
dimensional reality. As far as I'm concerned, that's actually what's going on.
Well, it's funny talking about
Like
dimensions because
tesseractical experience.
the biggest trip I ever did on psilocybin, which is hilarious. Because I'd done it in teas and a bunch of times I was telling you about before. And we'd put, they were only little gold tops that a dude I know would get. They're not extremely potent, but we do a bunch, do the teas. So we were walking through the bush one day and found a couple. Fresh ones in the ground, ready to go. He's like, there's two there and there's two there. So you have those two and I'll have these two. And in my mind, I'm like, well, that's only two mushrooms. Like, we've had teas before that had 20, 30 of these things in them. Having two is not going to be a problem. Pick these two out of the ground, eat them, straight down the gob. Not thinking any the wiser. Now, it wasn't until after the fact and everything went awry that I was talking to another friend of mine that's quite versed in psychedelics. And he's like, oh, man, you ate them fresh. Yeah, that's dangerous. That is at least 10 times the potency of a dried out one that we were making these brews of tea with. So without knowing it, I've taken, like 10 times a dose of what I've had in the past.
They call that a macro dose.
Is it?
Yeah, microdose is a very small amount.
Macro
Macrodose
dose
is a
is the
very
big
fucking
one.
large amount.
You ever
so you
seen
haven't processed it.
a Romanesco broccoli before?
I grow broccoli, but I haven't seen a Romanesco one.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong in the pronunciation of that, but Romanesco broccoli, search like a Roman broccoli, I'm sure it'll give you the right thing on
Is it a certain
Google
color or
search.
something?
It's the same color as a regular one, but the broccoli has like a Fibonacci sequence through it. It's got these spirals in it. It looks synthetic. It does not look real.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
And I did not think they were real until I saw one in the flesh. And I saw one in the flesh for the first time ever when those two little asshole mushrooms were starting to seek in. I was standing in the kitchen of a friend of mine's house, and he come running into the kitchen and goes, "Look at this shit!" And puts this Romanesco broccoli in front of my eyes as I'm starting to trip, and I just go, and I'll turn, and in the kitchen, so there's a cutout in the kitchen wall, and you can see through to like the dining room and down the hallway. Everything that was in 3-dimension, like in my direct view. So let's say the sink. Do you ever play the old like Doom games, the old Duke Nukem games where you'd run past something they had a picture of, but because they only had a 2-dimensional picture of it, it would spin and keep the same perspective as you go past it.
I know what you're talking about.
I'd turn around the room and the sink would follow me. And then I'd turn back and it would turn the other way. So
every 4th-dimensional reality.
Everything that was 3-dimensional went 2-dimensional, and then all the pictures on the walls that were 2-dimensional became 3-dimensional.
Yeah, I had that experience.
Shit.
So I'm just
But I had that experience with the LSD where the pictures started moving and stuff.
Yeah, but this is the opposite. This is
See,
where the
nothing
pictures
moved.
stop moving. This is where the kitchen like literally stops moving in time,
It's
and
spun.
you're like in this 4-dimensional space where you've transcended 3D reality, so that 3D reality starts to look 2D.
It was wild. So I'm standing in the kitchen. He's laughing at me. I'm going, I can't handle this. I'm going to go outside. Walked out the back stairs. And I sat down on the back stairs, and I was sort of sitting there rubbing my hands. I'm like, I'm going to be all right. And I hear this little voice go, he's going to be all right.
Yeah, you definitely have to be comfortable.
That's when it starts getting scary.
That's when it starts. So I'm hearing, like, I'm sort of getting, I can hear a commentary on everything I'm doing. I'm like, I'm going to be fine. It's like, it's all right, folks. He's going to be fine.
Did you recognise the voice?
I didn't recognize the voice, no, but
that's
I could,
so
it was
scary
coming
when that
from a
happens,
specific
man.
point. I'm like, this
Right.
voice is near me. So I'm sitting in the back.
You heard a voice.
I could hear the voice. Like, he's sitting there, he's rubbing his hands, he's looking around. I don't know what he's up to at the moment. What the fuck is going on?
Meta thought. You entered meta thought.
I looked up in the tree
How exciting.
beside the house, and there was a little cartoon anchor man sitting in the tree. Just like commentating on everything I was
Will
doing.
Ferrell.
I'm like, this isn't good. And he's like, this isn't good, folks.
Tripping balls, man.
Wow.
Tripping balls.
It freaked me the fuck
Wow.
out. It was the strongest trip I've done to this day. I puked.
Yeah.
I went upstairs. I went to
Your
bed.
body said no.
I had the best night's sleep I've ever had, and for like the week after that, I probably felt the best I'd felt. Like mentally, like the space I was in, clarity,
like a
I felt
defrag.
awesome. Yeah, it's like it had knocked loose whatever static was going on at the time, and I was just free.
Shaking it loose. Cool.
Yeah, that
Psilocybin, man.
Psilocybin's such a good thing, man. It's
And it's
important.
only like
I
two
think
steps
it's
removed from DMT on a chemical level as well. If I might be wrong about this. It's close.
I would
couldn't
think
tell
you're
you.
right. I'm not a chemist though either.
Oh, neither
I don't. I
sir.
don't get all the little hexagons and the lines, C's and the H's and the N's over here. I don't know.
like
how to
that
read
periodic table of elements. I couldn't tell
I
you.
quit chemistry.
Well, with DMT, it's the.
I got in a fist fight with my science teacher in grade 8.
Really?
Yeah, I punched that bitch in the face.
Why?
I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue what she was trying to teach me. She couldn't even teach me how to sew, let alone how to memorize the fucking table of elements.
He was a science teacher. What's
Yeah,
she
but
teaching
she
you how to
was-
sew for?
She was a home ec teacher who had studied science. And I got that out of her one lesson. Are you even qualified to be teaching us this shit? Well, no, but I studied it as a subject.
Is that how she spoke?
Yes. What's that? Oh,
Why
fuck
the
that
hell
bitch.
is a sewing teacher teaching you science? Which is it? Is it sewing or bloody science?
I went to a fairly cheap private school in the heart of Goodna.
Was it good? Nah.
Nah. Oh, it was actually pretty cool. I thought it was hilarious. I had a social studies teacher from South Africa who, I used to give my teachers so much shit, man. I easily remember the outside of every classroom when I was in school because
You
I
got
was
kicked out a lot?
I got kicked out all the fucking
That's
time, man.
gold.
And the conversations, I used to have
I
really.
remember the outside of
remember-
every one of my classrooms because I was always getting kicked out.
I'd never fucked up because
Really?
I had
By grade
I had
4.
bad anxiety back then. Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. That's why I didn't want to be in the fucking classrooms. Let me sit outside. Fuck all this, you stupid cunt.
I was too
Pick me out.
I was too terrified of punishment.
Oh, no, I didn't care about the punishment at all.
Yeah, I was
I
always scared.
I always knew more than my teachers did, or so I thought. And so did they. That's why they kicked me out. But
the
I
ti-
used to have great conversations with the principal, actually. Like by grade 3, he's like, "Oh, outside again, are you, Jeremy?"
I'm the generation where they just got a cane and smacked you.
Oh, so yeah, you were
That's
before
my
me.
generation.
I wasn't long after that
I was from
There was no
but-
conversations with the principal. It was just,
yeah,
here's my cupboard.
yeah.
What,
See,
wait, where'd
here's
you get
my
it though?
stick.
Did you get like fingers on the table and across the
No,
knuckles?
I just hold it out like this.
that stings.
I think
Especially as a
I
kid,
always,
'cause
I
your
was
nerves
always
are so
able to talk
alive.
my way out of the cane, though.
Yeah, you can take more pain when you get older, but when
I've
you're
been
a
threatened
kid,
with.
it hurts
I've
like
had principals
shit.
threatening me with canes, paddles, suspensions, and only one of them was able to suspend me for a day. I just talk my way out of it, man. I fuck up because I think it's all bullshit. The principal comes along and says, "Why are you out here again for the 3rd year in the row?" Because it's all bullshit, sir. Let me tell you why. Oh, that's all right. I understand. See you next year.
Salesman.
No. Not a salesman.
missed
I
your
can't sell
calling.
anything for shit.
Missed your calling.
Yeah, I tried.
Salesman.
I actually tried sales. I did. I tried sales because I thought maybe I could do this, but no, I don't believe in the product.
What industry was it?
And
I could, yeah, I'm
Energy.
the same. If someone come in and like, what are you looking for? I'm like, I'm looking for this. I couldn't spin them onto something else to try and make myself a better product. I'm like, well, you need this. It's like, oh, no, you need to upgrade them to this. Like, they didn't fucking want that.
yeah.
Why are you
That's
trying
right.
to sell people something they don't want?
Exactly.
Fuck off.
And salesmen
Trying to feed themselves, I
in the
guess.
same. Well, that's right. I don't have that gift, man. I can steal food from bins. I don't care. That's how I'll eat. You know, I don't need to
grow
feed
it.
myself with that garbage or grow it or whatever. Like I'll live off
Actually,
other people's
everybody,
waste.
please start growing food because the Amazon is burning.
Is literally burning.
So the more we can grow, the better.
Siberia has been on fire
From
for the
Dr.
last
Rob or
3
Jobbie.
months.
I saw that the other
Siberia
day.
has been on fire
What part of
for
Siberia is this
3
in?
months.
Like,
I haven't
Amazon's
seen the
all over
Siberia one. I've
everything.
seen the Amazon one.
I saw an article about Siberia in
Me
3 months the
too.
other day because it was trying to outweigh the Amazon. As well, like Amazon's been on fire for 3 weeks. Like,
It's
oh,
like
like Siberia, been on.
It's a fire
Oh, classic
competition.
Russian. No, it's not a fire competition. It's
fire
a fucking
competition.
extinction level event.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Possibly. An extinction
Well, it's
level
definitely
event.
not good.
Is that what that's? I
Definitely
saw
not
a couple of people post today, like, "Oh, well, we're fucked."
We're fucked.
Is that what it's about?
Yes.
Wow.
Not
burning.
good. Just start growing, guys.
Start growing your
Optimism.
own food.
See what you've done.
Grow
And
now,
your
with
flowers.
our
Get
companies.
the bees back. Get the
Grow
Aussie
on your
bees
balcony,
in your garden.
grow on your porch, grow on your veranda,
Grow in your
backyard.
hydroponic
Ants.
chamber.
Ants are a good way to move the pollen to.
Really?
Yeah, had a friend of mine doing that with zucchinis.
Most insects transport pollen, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
He had,
But you got
could
the
see him
famous
moving from
ones
the
like bees and butterflies, but
you could see him moving from the flowers and over the fruit, and he's like, "Yep, they are pollinating my entire garden." He fucking grew some zucchinis, man. Holy
Oh,
shit!
yeah.
you know, even
I've never
mosquitoes
seen anything
pollinate.
so big.
Even mosquitoes pollinate too.
They
you know.
pollinate
Do they?
malaria.
Most fucking-
Yeah,
don't know
they
that.
pollinate Ross River fever and
Oh, they
fucking-
pollinate diseases,
So,
particularly in the tropics.
We're
Not
going to
so
have
much
to start
down here.
wrapping up soon.
We're gonna wrap up. All
Pretty
right.
soon. We've got a bit of time, but pretty soon let's start thinking about winding up the
Well,
conversation.
what are we ending on?
Let's keep talking about how the fuck mosquitoes suck, and I'm happy to kill them.
Well, I've been lucky, man. Like, I've never had malaria. I've never had Ross River fever. Like, I remember kids getting that when I was in school. Oh, yeah, you know, you can't come in. You get
Where
Ross
did
River
you
fever.
live? Up north?
No, I lived here in Brisbane.
Whereabouts in
very
Brisbane did you
rare
grow
down
up?
here.
You was like on
Very
that.
rare.
I grew up on the north side.
North side.
So a family live at Sandgate.
Past the gap.
Oh,
around that
no,
area.
no.
Not even
nowhere
near
near
that?
there. No. I'm talking
Okay,
like
that's past
Northgate,
my mental map.
Northgate, Sandgate.
Yeah, rare in the subtropics. It's more common in the tropics.
Yeah, up north. But I do remember kids still getting that down here, especially. I remember we
I know
going
people-
and hanging out down the
I
creeks.
do
where
know people that had Ross River fever in Brisbane.
Really?
It was very, I swear, man, like in the late 90s, there was some bad cases of it around here. If my memory is shit too, so don't hold it to me.
90s
But
wasn't
I
a flood
remember
year.
it. I know. I have people close to me got fucked up by Ross River Fever in the mid 90s.
Played in a band with a dude who's bass player.
What was the band?
It never eventuated and did anything.
Okay.
It was like out of high school. There's a dude who was older than me that was a good salesman, but
So the
and
band was called Never Eventuated.
never eventuated. No.
Nevereventuated.com is
wrote-
probably still out there because it never eventuated.
The guitarist had a mad case of fucking stage fright. Like any time we started to get anything, like the day
poor
he
fella.
filled in guitar for a band, and
Performance
the
anxiety.
night before,
It affects us all.
Extreme.
a gig, he would be puking his guts up until he got off stage the next day.
Really?
Wouldn't be able to hold anything
man,
down.
Wow.
And
No
kind of
wonder that
sucked
never
too because he
eventuated.
did write good
.com
songs.
/org.
We copyrighted that, by the way, so don't
Yeah,
steal
we
it.
own that.
The bass player.
You can buy it
got,
off us.
Yeah, buy it.
Capitalism.
What would he get? Chronic fatigue. After he would have
Chronic fatigue.
glandular.
Gland.
He would
Oh,
get
glandular
glandular
fever.
fever really badly.
That's a kissing disease, isn't it?
That's what they call
That's
it.
mono.
Hmm?
Mono is a kissing disease, isn't it? Or
And
is mono
glandular
glandular fever?
Glandular fever.
Don't ask
Pretty
me.
sure
Don't look
glandular
at me. I
fever.
don't know.
You know more about science than I do.
Pretty sure
but
glandular
who-
fever is
Can
the
we
kissing one.
even trust
Yeah,
science?
right.
Who knows?
I think the Yanks
Oh,
call
I
it
don't know. It's all
cooties, don't they?
funded by people, isn't it?
Don't the Yanks call
Money's
it
got to come
cooties?
from somewhere.
Cooties. Only girls get cooties.
And there's
Girls have
strep
cooties.
throat. Strep throat. What's strep throat? I've heard Americans talk about strep throat. What
was
the
in Liar
fuck
Liar.
does that mean?
That would
Was
be,
it in Liar Liar?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, strep
Think
throat.
of something. Strep
That
throat's
would be
going around.
strep
Ooh,
tooth.
good one.
It sounds
fuck
like
is that?
streptococci, so that would be a bacterial infection.
What's wrong with Yanks that they get that and we don't?
I think you still get
Well, it's like
strep
rabies.
throat.
We
We
just
have
call it
rabies
something
here,
different.
but it's not called rabies. It's called fucking something else.
Seriously? I didn't think we had rabies here. Because
Yeah,
all
it's
I've
just
heard
called
is we don't
something
have
else.
rabies here. Really? Wow. Okay.
It's very rare, though.
It is. It could be because our population's so sparse and our sun is so harsh.
thought there was no rabies here myself.
That's because I remember
Call it something
asking
else.
that. I went on
Hydrophobia?
a tour through
Oh, hydrophobia is another name for rabies, yeah. 'Cause
Carnarvon
they-
Gorge.
They have a fear of
Yeah,
water.
Carnarvon Gorge.
like out. It's west of Rockhampton. It's like 6 hours west of Rockhampton,
Mm.
and doing a tour through there when I was like 13. And they were saying about, oh yeah, we get this, which is rabies, but we don't call it rabies here. And I'm like,
Right.
we no,
Dude, you know
I
what
got told
rabies
in school
does
we
to a
don't have
person?
rabies here.
You know what rabies does to a person?
I don't. Other than
don't?
the Seinfeld episode where
Dude,
she can't
you gotta-
swallow.
You got to look it up, man.
Google it.
Rabies
Google it.
is the zombie disease.
Oh really?
It's a parasite that will go up into your brain, take it over, and make you bite people in order to spread that. And it's also it's 99.9% fatal. So your brain gets taken over by this parasite, this rabies, and you'll want to bite and attack people in order for that virus or parasite to invade the next host.
Jesus
Right on.
Christ.
Zombies. Zombies.
It turns people into zombies. Check out some cases, man. It's pretty scary stuff.
Have you seen?
It's a bit
You
like
should
Mad
also
Cow,
you should
like that.
also check out the Sunset Junkies and Like Thieves. Check it out.
Oh,
Google that
Rappy.
shit in too.
Don't
Rappy
let
rap
me as a
plug-in
person
plug
to
time.
tell you from the music I helped create, please.
This cunt can drum.
Apparently.
He
I don't
can
know.
drum. He can hit them hard too.
So yeah, Sunset Junkies' new album Cosmos coming out in 2 weeks. But that's from today.
That's from today.
So
yeah,
September
yeah.
7th, the album will be out. Get it on Spotify, get it on iTunes, get it
So probably
fucking
1 week
everywhere. Probably 1 week.
Yeah, man.
from
It'll-
when you see this.
yeah. Check it out. Check it out. Google that shit. Google Sunset Junkies. Byron Short and the.
No, it's not that. Oh, it used to be known as.
Used to be known as it was formerly known the artist formerly known as Byron Short and the Sunset Junkies because it is still Byron Short's baby.
It's not called Never Eventuated.
But no,
I never got
.com,
around
it's
to
still
smashing him on this podcast either.
no.
No, I
well,
didn't. I didn't give him any shit at all.
I reckon Trickett will be back as an upcoming guest. Who else have we got? We've got Sean Riley, Old Man Riley of New Orleans fame.
Palmas.
We got Palmas.
Palmas?
And, yeah,
I
man.
haven't seen Palms in ages.
Oh
Man.
man, we all miss Palmas. None of us have seen her for a while, so it'll be good to. We'll have a good chat with her. Yeah, man. She's been sick, unfortunately. Bad flu season this year.
Oh no.
In Brisbane. Who else have we got coming up? We got other members of Blues Arcadia. We'll get Casper back on. Talk some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep talking more shit.
Pathology. And
That's-
any other plugs?
Any
Have
other
you covered
plugs?
all your plugs?
Like Thieves. Check
Blue-
that out.
Blues Arcadia.
Blues Arcadia.
Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath.
If you haven't heard of them, you'd better be dead. And if you're not
Careful.
dead, I'll fucking
I
kill
don't
you.
know if they're still doing gigs though.
If I catch you down here again, I'll fucking kill you.
And you've covered yours?
Don't.
I've
Touch.
covered mine. Thank you very much.
Covered.
Yeah, don't touch Glen Weld.
And our next one is Palmer's? Or
No, our next one's going to be Sean Riley from
Sean
New
Riley,
Orleans. Our
okay.
first international guest.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
So look out for Sean Riley in SHVIT.
Nice.
Oy vey.
Nice. I like the Roman numerals. It's good. That's a good little touch.
Well, it helps us keep count, and the amount of file types you end up with with your computer, it just keeps you sane. So it's pragmatic as well as catchy.
Doodly-doo.
Good, man. I
Good
like it.
night.
Definitely keeps you sane.
And so long.
Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
Fucking cheers, brothers.
Good one.
Good stuff, Trickett.
Drink. You don't. You cheers.
You and
fucking
your
drink, man.
rules.
You cheers. You drink. It's bad luck otherwise.